Hi guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to set up your own Gmod DarkRP server. I'm showing you this because it's probably the most common game mode, and Gmod is a really good game and DarkRP is a really good game mode. So I'm going to start off by showing you how to set up the base Gmod server. So first thing you're going to want to do is analyze the file structure. So here, basically first thing you want to do is go into the Gary's mod folder. The Gary's mod folder, you want to find this folder. It shouldn't be too hard to find. It'll either be after a folder with a bunch of numbers in, or called an IP, or it'll be in a container folder or something. Or you might just be able to get the Gary's mod folder. But that's the basic idea. It's here. The next thing is you'll want to go into the CFG folder. In here, there's a bunch of configs that you can set up for the default server. For now, I'm just going to go straight into the server.cfg, which is configuring the basic server config settings. The first thing is the host name. So the host name is the name of the server. So for example, if I was going to join a default Gmod server like this, DarkRP, you see you've got all of these servers. These in here have been set to the name here. So a lot of these have characters in. For now, we're just going to keep it simple and put my Gmod server. Here, you can also put a password. So for testing purposes, I'm not going to have one because it's a lot faster not to. But in an actual scenario, you would want it because we're developing in the minute and you don't want someone joining the server that isn't finished. The next thing is the server limits. For now, I'm going to leave them as default. But if you had a certain, for example, if you wanted people to only be able to put 100 props down, you leave it like this. If you wanted it to, so people could only put 10 props down, you put it to 10. For now, I'm just going to leave it all as default because it doesn't really matter. In this file, there are also some other things, but this is more advanced, and even I don't use it because it's, unless you actually know what you're doing, you should definitely just leave it as default. You can also add some custom lines, but that's not important for now. For now, we just want to get the basics down. So save content. Go back to your Gary's mod folder. In here, there's a lot of other things you can do. For now, I would recommend you just getting the game mode installed. To set up a game mode, a lot of the time you'll have like a mod manager page or mods. By the time you're seeing this, there will on Horizon Networks be a mod manager page, and it will look something similar to this one here. In fact, it will look almost the exact same with less add-ons and a few other things. But you'll want to click DarkRP, and then DarkRP modification required to edit the DarkRP based servers. For me, if you don't have that, or you've just got a default server like me without a mod manager, you're going to need to download them. So DarkRP GitHub, or you somehow need to. I'll leave a link to the description and leave a link in the description where you can grab this. So what you need to do is go to this GitHub, and in here you'll see there's a bunch of stuff. It's quite advanced. You don't need to worry about that. You just need to go here, code, and then download zip here. When you do this, you'll get a zip file. Once you've got it downloaded, there are a few things you can do. You can either extract it from the zip file and then use a file management software, or just drag it in here to do that. Or if you don't have WinRAR, or you want to do it a little bit more quickly, what you can do instead is you can drag it straight in like this, and once it's uploaded that, it will come in here as a zip file. So now you can go to the settings tab and unarchive it, and that's what I'm going to do for this scenario because it's a little bit faster. So once you've done that, you can right click this and rename it, or you need to rename the folder. So I would recommend just setting it to DarkRP, just like this. And then you can go into the startup settings, and this is where you can get a little bit more of a configuration going. So here you can change the map, the Steam account token, which will make it so that you can see it publicly, and you can get that by going to this link, I'll leave it in the description, and creating a login token. I've already made mine. You don't need to make it, but if you want it to be publicly seen in the game modes tab like this, you're going to need one. The next thing you want to change is the game mode. So the game mode is the exact same name as you set the folder in game modes. So go into Gary's mod game modes and double check the name of the DarkRP. Make sure it is DarkRP, no capitals, no spaces, no nothing, if it's a DarkRP server. Go to startup, and in game mode, DarkRP. Here you can also set some other things like workshop ID, map, account token, game mode, tick rate, a few other things. I might have just said the same thing twice there. I am brain dead. Next thing is, you want to go back to your console and restart your server. This means that you'll be able to grab all the new information that you've just given it from the files and load it. Once your server is up, you can type connect and then press spacebar. And what you're going to need is an IP. So the IP on us, you can just copy it like that by clicking on the IP. Another thing you can do is you can go inside of the thing and inside of your console and type status, and this here will give you an IP. Most of the time you can just find it and copy it, or find it in the server browser if you've set up your Steam account token. But for now, I'm just going to shove the IP in. So as you can see, it's DarkRP game mode, flat grass map, and there is the host name. So these are all things you've changed. These are the basic information of your server. Once you've done that, you'll load in, and you'll notice that if you set it up correctly, you'll have a DarkRP server, F4 with the weapons, F1 with the old wiki chat commands thing, F3 will show up the cursor, tab is the tab menu, the fadmin thing, the default one. But now we need to go into a little bit more of deep end configuration. If you want to customize DarkRP, you're going to need DarkRP modification. This is an add-on. This isn't a game mode, this is an add-on. You're going to want to download the zip, go into the files, and go into Garry's Mod, add-ons. In here, you can drag the zip file straight in and unarchive it, or you can do it in the way we taught you before. I would recommend that you rename it from DarkRP modification master just to DarkRP or DarkRP modification, because that makes it a little bit simpler, a little bit shorter. The license and the README you don't really need. They aren't actually integral to the add-on, and you can remove them if you need to, but it doesn't change much and they're very small files, so it doesn't matter. For now, you want to go into the Lua, DarkRP config, and then into the settings. In here, there are a ton of things that you can change. I would recommend going through all of these and changing it. So, for example, let's say I wanted it so that police, by default, or civil protection as they're called, cannot unfreeze props. I just type in freeze, cops can unfreeze. I change this to false, because currently they can unfreeze. If I set this to false, they can no longer unfreeze the props. Currently, they can also arrest each other. I don't want that to be like that. They can no longer. I would recommend that you go down through all of these and choose them, and then you can change and edit exactly the way you want your server. Once you've configured it and you've set it up, you can restart the server, and then you'll see all of your changes will have changed. Next thing you want to do is go into disabled defaults. There's a bunch of things here. For example, you see how by default, if I press F1, this ugly menu comes up. I always turn this off. So if you want to disable it, you go to these modules, go to the F1 menu, for example, and then change it from false to true, and that will disable it. Now, if I press F1 after restarting the server, because I haven't restarted it yet, it will disable it. By default, all of these, you'll have a bunch of stuff in here that's just default stuff. If you want to disable it, you go through this file and you type true. For example, I don't want AK-47s to be in the shipments for the gun dealer. True, it no longer is there. Next thing is entities. Then you've got vehicles that you don't need for now because there aren't any vehicles. Food, door groups, ammo, agendas, group chat. If you don't know what something is, leave it. It probably doesn't matter. Or at least not for now. Next thing is you go back into DarkRP modification, Lua, and then you can add new things. So this is editing the default settings, and then in here you've got DarkRP_custom things. In here, there is a bunch of things. For example, jobs, for example, and if you don't know what you're doing here, you will have to look for examples on the wiki, or there is a website called seasite.io. On this website, there are a bunch of generators and tools. So if you go to here and go to seasite.io/tools, these are all of the DarkRP. You see here, you can generate the code. So you don't actually have to know how to code to set up a DarkRP server. So for example, team_dog. color, this is the color of it in the F4 menu. I want it to be red. Red dog. And the description, you are a red dog. Go be a red dog. Full stop. The command is what they have to type in chat to do it. For example, /citizen. You are, I'm already a citizen, but you know, it will set you to that job. If you press F4, basically the F4 menu, all you're doing is typing in the command. By pressing this and clicking become job, you're typing /gun dealer. Pretty much it's the same. It does the same thing. So for this, I'm going to put dog. Insane. In here, you can put the category. The category, as you can see here, the category the job should show up in. You must create the category here, and then you can create a category. By default, there's a few default ones like citizens. Wait, is it citizens or is it? Yeah, citizens, civil protection, gangsters, and a few more. But those are the default ones, and you can remove those in the disabled defaults or keep them. You can also add the jobs, weapons, and then there's some custom things. But as you can see here, there are some red stars, and that's the one that you need. Let's just say that it doesn't matter. Okay. This is the maximum amount you can have. 15 salary, how much they get every minute. Or hour or something. I can't remember how it goes. And then you've got all this code. So you want to copy it, or click copy here, and then shove that into the custom jobs file. So here, boom, dog. Oh wait, I've missed a field. It also here will tell you if it won't work or will work. So I can, for example, there's also a list of default player models. So let's have, what's a good dog?
Are you seriously watching porn by yourself?
No! I'm with the science team!
Okay, we're going to go with this one. Okay, we're going to go here. And we're going to go here. And now I can see all the fields are filled in. So I can copy this, if I can copy it correctly, and then put it in here. Badoing. Quick tip. You'll be restarting the server a lot. If you host with us, it won't take very long because we're a god tier hosting company. But it will take a second either way. We use NVMe, so it is very fast. But the idea is it will take a quick second. So a quick thing to remember is if you have a console, which you just, if you don't already know, go into options, game. Is it game or is it keyboard? No, it's keyboard, advanced, enable developer console. And then you can press apply and OK. And then if you press the button under escape, which looks like it's called a tilde, or I think it is, then it will give you this console. If you have just joined the server and you've restarted and you've been kicked, or you've just left the server and then, you know, the server's restarted, or you just want to connect to the server that you were just on, you type retry and it will automatically go to the last server you were on. So now you've made a job. You can do the exact same thing with entities, weapons, ammo, shipments, all of that. So once you've got this, you're going to need to know how to install add-ons. But this is the default DarkRP server. That's pretty much the end of the video. In the next video, I'll be showing you how to install add-ons and a few other things. Thank you. By the way, if you need a quick reminder, you install an add-on pretty much in the same way you did when you downloaded the DarkRP modification, but if you don't understand and you just did that quickly, I'm going to make a completely separate video completely explaining how to install an add-on into a DarkRP server, or any Gmod server. Thank you for your time, goodbye, this is how you do it.